Hey, everybody, welcome back. Let's say hello to our good friend, Mr. Jon Batiste. Jon, hey, man, it's good to have you back on the East Coast. You were out there at West too long for my comfort.
Yeah, that West Coast energy is different. I'm glad to be back.
I caught your performance on ABC. What was that television program you were on?
It was American Idol. Yes, I was sliding across the floor.
You sure were. You were killing it. You were killing it.
Yes, indeed. I was having fun, man. It was good to perform live again. You know, you get the sensation back immediately. It's like, oh, yeah.
Do you really? Because I don't know what it's like to perform live at all.
I think you'll get it right back.
I'll remember it. All right. Well, soon. Not right. Yeah, soon. And
I know. I'm hoping.
And I cannot wait to share the stage with you again. Do you have any music left in your hands for America to enjoy at this moment?
Oh, yeah. Always in the hands and in the heart, baby.
Jon Batiste, everybody. Thanks, Jon. I'll see you soon.
Yes, indeed.
Folks, my first guest tonight is the CNN anchor and chief Washington correspondent who hosts The Lead and State of the Union. Please welcome back to A Late Show, my friend and yours, Mr. Jake Tapper. Hey, Jake, good to see you.
It's great to be here. Thank you so much.
Now, we have spoken in COVID time. We have done this.
Yes,
we have done this thing. You from home with your fantastic political memorabilia behind you. Is that an actual location, or is that green screen behind you? Is that a real spot?
I'm at CNN, but I will confess that this is my new fancy green screen. The illusion of an office, the illusion that I could walk over there and open that door. That door does not exist. So this is all
of that is just another lie by CNN.
It's not a direct lie. It's more of an implication of a lie.
Sure,
a suggestion.
You're misleading the audience, is what I'm saying.
It's lie. Well, what about that New York City scene behind you?
What, this?
Yes.
That is a live shot of New York right now. That is. Hold on. Hey, taxi! I'll be right down. Start the meter.
I think I see a Burma Shave ad back there.
Mm-hmm. A little Brill cream.
There's a lady saying 23 skidoo.
Now then, Jake.
Yes,
this is our first time talking since we got a new president. We're 100 days into the Biden administration. At this point, to y'all over at CNN go, maybe we're a little tough on the last guy. Maybe we got too swept up.
No.
No? What have these comparably moderate and boring has been thrown around a lot, but certainly not blood pressure raising days have been like?
Yeah. Well, it's more like what we're used to under previous administrations. You know, here's an example. I had to, as an anchor, stop doing pre-taped interviews during Trump because, here's an example, at 2 p.m. one time I did a pre-taped interview with Governor Chris Christie. And then my show airs at 4 p.m. on weekdays, Eastern. And between the pre-interview and the show at 4, Trump fired Scaramucci. So, I mean, so the entire interview with Chris Christie was completely worthless.
Okay, so he's gone, and say the news doesnst change as fast as it did before. So that's
he's not entirely gone, I would say, but yes.
Okay, you're right because he's still with us down in Florida, and his influence across the GOP is enormous. House Republicans will vote Wednesday whether to oust Liz Cheney from her leadership post, because specifically, yes, she voted for the impeachment, but it's specifically because she will not uphold the lie.
Yeah.
That the election was a fraud.
Right.
What's happening to the GOP right now? I personally thought that she was putting her money, she was backing the right horse here, as was Kinzinger, that eventually that would fade. But it seems like the GOP is putting all their chips on a guy who doesn't know how to run a casino.
Well, the other thing is that if you look at Trump's approval ratings in swing districts, competitive congressional districts, he's not popular with the voters that Republicans need in order to win back the House of Representatives. Although he's very popular with Republican-based voters. So this is a big gamble, truly, by Kevin McCarthy. He's doing this because he wants to be the speaker, and he's thinking he can only do that with Trump support. But what's so interesting about this, Stephen, is Liz Cheney is going to be replaced in all likelihood by a congresswoman from New York named Elise Stefanik.
Yeah.
Elise Stefanik, by any measure, far more liberal than Liz Cheney. Elise Stefanik, by any measure, far less reliably supportive of the Trump agenda. So why support Elise Stefanik over Liz Cheney? Entirely, as you know, because of one thing. Liz Cheney will not lie about the election, and she won't lie about the insurrection. And that's it. So we're seeing the entire Republican Party not only say, we're all in with Trump, most of the Republican Party in the leadership in the House. Not only are they saying we're all in with Trump, they're saying we're all in with his lies. It's not even about Trump and his positions or his policies. It's about his lies. We're doubling down on the lies.
Now, you have said, and this made headlines, that you are not interested in interviewing or having somebody on the show who promulgates the lie that the election was a fraud or that the January 6th insurrection was not such. Like, are you surprised that that made news, that you said, I'm not interested in those people?
Yeah, I mean, to me, it's not a policy, right? I haven't booked any of them, but it's not like I'm saying I never will, because I have no idea what tomorrow's news is going to be. But as a general principle, this is a lie that is demonstrably false, has been thrown out by Republican governors, Republican election officials, Republican appointed judges, the U.S. Supreme Court, all evidence. And we know that it is a dangerous lie that has led to death and an insurrection. So, yeah, I kind of find it unusual that people think this is notable. Shouldn't all of us in the news media be at least having this conversation? What is the worth in having somebody who is willing to lie about this election on our shows? There are plenty of Republicans who are not willing to do that lie, and I've had them on. The governor of Maryland and the governor of Utah, the governor of Arkansas, Congressman Kinzinger, Mitt Romney, others. There are plenty of Republicans we can talk to. Isn't it something we should be wondering? If they're willing to lie about the election, what else are they willing to lie about? And if we know they're that willing to lie, are we wasting our viewers' time?
Well, let's talk about a sort of an extension of that lie, which is the Arizona audit.
Crazy.
How crazy is it? I know Stefanik is in favor of it. That's one of the things that she's got on her resume to take over for Liz Cheney. Do we know what's going on out there, or can the press get in there to find out?
Well, first of all, we had to sue. The press had to sue to get a camera in there because previously it was only being live streamed. The only camera being allowed to be in there was from OANN, which not only is a promulgator, a spreader of the big lie, they also are fundraising for the big lie. But beyond that, they're looking into it. It's run by a liar, somebody who embraces the big election lie, and I mean it's cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. I mean that's not a clinical term, but they're looking for. We saw them putting ballots under ultraviolet light, UV light.
Yeah. Why
were they doing that? They explained, because one of the rumors is that 40,000 ballots came from Asia, where the ballots would be made with bamboo thread. They're looking for bamboo in the ballots because of the secret Chinese ballots. It's crazy. And this is, by the way, Maricopa County, not like it matters, but Maricopa County, whose ballots they're looking at, I think it's 2.1 million, the election board is run by Republicans. They already did 2 recounts. The governor of Arizona is not only a Republican, a Trump-supporting Republican. It shouldn't matter because Democrats, they don't, it's not like their elections are, we should, question those, but not Republicans. But these are Republicans' own elections. That's who ran it. It's just watching people go hand the reins over. I asked Kinzinger, how many of your colleagues actually believe this craziness? He said he thinks only about 5. But they're going to get somewhere between 150 and 200 of them voting to oust Cheney based on these lies.
And is that
because
only
they're terrified?
is that because they're terrified of the primaries? It's not the
They're
general.
terrified of losing a primary, terrified of the voters, terrified of Trump's grasp on the Republican Party.
We have to take a quick break. We'll be right back with more of Jake Tapper.